The Pro Controller is the best controller for the Nintendo Switch for most people. It's also really expensive. This is not the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. It looks and feels exactly like the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, and it acts almost exactly like a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. And the best part is that it comes in at a third of the price of the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Registered trademark, TM, copyright. I got an email about this controller back in April. I was very interested in it, and I figured you guys would be too. It was on Aliexpress for just $13. Shipping was $10, so it came out to about $23.88. It shipped directly from China and took 22 days to ship, which isn't terrible. Aliexpress is the express version of Alibaba, which is known for having really cheap generic products that are sold in really large quantities that ship from countries with very cheap labor. So it's shady People use Alibaba all the time to drop ship goods. So, for example, you could buy 1,000 shirts for $4 a pop and then resell them for around $20 a pop. You might see this type of garbage all over Facebook. The quality of the stuff on this website is questionable. Aliexpress allows you to buy these same products in much smaller quantities. Like, for example, you could buy just one of something. So if you want the cool baby wireless controller, you could buy just one of them. It did not come in that nice knockoff Nintendo box like it shows in the picture. It came in this. Realistically, this controller was probably made in the exact same manufacturing center as the official Nintendo Switch Pro Controller using the exact same parts. The only thing that's missing is the quality control, which we will get to later. It looks and feels exactly like a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. All it's missing is the logo on the front and back. But it does have the Nintendo support website on it still, which is raised in plastic, as if they used the exact same molding and just left that part in. The lights on it on the bottom light up almost in the exact same way. It lingers on the first box for some reason. The plastic feels good, not cheap at all. The dimples on the handles feel slightly more indented. It feels like the grips might have been made out of a slightly different material, although that could also be wear on my original Pro Controller from my salty, sweaty hands. I was shocked by how well it worked. Using it is mostly indistinguishable from an actual Pro Controller. The buttons and thumbsticks feel really good. The face buttons might be ever so slightly harder than the originals, but again, that could be wear from my salty, sweaty hands. Why did I do this bit? Even the motion controls are excellent. That's usually the first thing to suffer in a cheap controller, but I was able to play Splatoon just fine. Well, not really, I still suck at the game, but the motion controls worked great, and that surprised me a lot. So far, it sounds like this thing is all sunshine and rainbows, but before you get your credit card out to buy one of these things, let me knock it down a few pegs. The thumbsticks feel good physically, but they're definitely calibrated weird. The left one on mine has a pretty wide dead zone around the middle. The right stick feels slightly more sensitive in that area, but both sticks have a dead zone around the outside, so they reach their limit before you actually reach the physical limit of the controller. The thumbsticks also snap to the X and Y axis. This isn't something that I noticed while using it, only when testing it in the controller menu. The original Pro Controller feels way more fluid. No dead zones or snapping to any axis. And when you reach the end of the thumbstick area, you're hitting the plastic on the end, so it's a one-to-one calibration. Also, probably a bigger deal than all the other stuff I was talking about. Right on the D-pad just straight up doesn't work. This is probably just a defect in my particular unit, but I think you could expect similar defects to be pretty widespread if you're gonna spend $20 on a Pro Controller knockoff. I'm sure if this happened to you, you could hit up Aliexpress support and they could help you out, but that sounds like a nightmare to me. I'm probably just gonna break this controller in half at the end and just throw it out anyway. The only way that I was able to sync this controller with my Switch was by using the USB-A to USB-C cable that came with my actual Switch Pro Controller. This controller did not come with a cable, so I lied, it super came with its own USB-C cable. I just didn't see it because it was behind the controller in the box. Also, just like every other Switch wireless controller, the home button doesn't actually wake the system. You have to either press the power button on the Switch itself or press the home button on a Joy-Con. Even when the controller is plugged in, it doesn't wake the system. The rumble works, but it is very harsh. This didn't bother me really when I was playing Splatoon, but it bothered me a lot when I was playing Smash Brothers. It was very distracting. It kind of feels like there's no sensitivity levels or the sensitivity calibration is messed up. It's full rumble or nothing at all. And this brings me to the whole problem with this controller. It's really cool that they were able to replicate the original Pro Controller so well. They probably just used the same manufacturing process and the same parts and everything, but they didn't use the same firmware, and the quality assurance just is not there. They clearly didn't rigorously test this controller before sending it out. That's what that extra $40 to $50 gets you when you're buying an officially licensed Nintendo product. You're getting that quality control. That's why the D-pad doesn't work right. That's why the thumbsticks aren't calibrated right. That's why the rumble sensitivity is off. I'm surprised the motion controls feel as good as they do. Although, if we ran it through some sort of calibration software, I'm sure that we would discover that they don't work so well. This is definitely a $20 controller. I'm not sure if I really felt input lag on this controller or if that was just the poor calibration of the thumbsticks. But that was only really a problem in Smash Brothers for me. Actually, after some crude testing, there's no difference in input lag between the two controllers. They both have about 16 frames. All right, so in the final hour of editing this video, I decided to take the controller apart with little intention of putting it back together, but look at this. So you know how on the actual Pro Controller, there's a little hidden message that says, "Thanks to all gamers"? Well, this one says TMX2 ALLGAMEFANSL. So it's like the worst knockoff of that phrase ever. They listen, the attention to detail is really respectable, but you were so close. You almost had it. So if you're looking to save a couple of bucks, I definitely can't recommend this controller. Not because it kind of sucks. It's actually pretty cool for only $20. But it's because if you buy this, you're taking a risk. You could get one that doesn't connect. You can get one where the thumbsticks just straight up don't work. You could get one where the D-pad just straight up doesn't work. I also can't recommend this because it is basically stealing. This is a trademarked product that has been cloned. Nintendo makes a great product that they support pretty well through their warranty, so shell out that extra couple of bucks for a product that you know is going to work great. And if you don't want to shell out the extra couple of bucks, there are plenty of aftermarket Switch controllers made by really good companies, some even officially licensed by Nintendo, that you know are going to work great. But who doesn't love a good Chinese knockoff story? You've got to admire the balls on these guys. So what do you guys think about this Switch Pro Controller that's not a Switch Pro Controller? Is this something that you'd be interested in? Would you take the gamble? Just don't. I think it's like really funny for some reason. Hey, maybe it's worth it if you want to buy like 8 of these for some reason, but I mean, I just don't. Just stick with the legit stuff. Or you can try one of the aftermarket ones. Links to all of that good stuff will be in the description below. And the links to the good controllers will help support the channel, not the Aliexpress one. I don't want to support that. But anyway, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter. Any and all of this other social media garbage. We got new videos and live streams here all the time on YouTube and over on twitch.tv/Wulffden. If you support us here on YouTube or over on Twitch, you can link it to your Discord account and you can get into our supporter-only Discord where you get videos like this one a little bit early. You get private chat time with us and you get to play video games with us at least once a month. And by us, I mean me and AJ. Will never does that. But of course, the most important thing that you can do and the easiest thing is just subscribe to the channel. That's it. And share this video with a friend. Well, I don't want you to share with a friend who would buy one. Share with a friend you might think it's like cool as like a little gag. I don't know. You'll figure it out. You know somebody. Thank you guys very much. Have a good one.